can just go after the games.
Okay. All right. Let me share the screen then. Hold on. You see my screen?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. All right. So, let's see. So this is all right. So I put the first. So this is what I did. Look, you can access this study. So I'll show you how to access the studies. Um, well, actually, I sent you that video, right? How to do it through your phone.
Mm.
But if you want to do it through your laptop, it's pretty easy as well. So you just go to let's say you go to your own profile. I included you in the study. Like, look,
Mm.
so you see, there's two members, me and you. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you look under studies, so you open up your profile, and here it says studies,
Okay.
and you can it should be one of those studies, because if you click on that, like, these are all my studies, but
Mm.
you can look under like here it says studies that I contribute to. So that means studies that people included me in. So you click on that, and these are all the studies that people included me in.
Mm-hmm.
So you would find mine under there if you want to look it up yourself.
Okay.
So yeah. So this is a study I called. Where did I call it? Right here. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen versus Fabiano Caruana, 25-minute rapid games.
Yeah.
All right, and then these would be the chapters. So chapter one.
Yeah. Okay.
So this would be chapter one. This is the first game,
No,
and this is chapter two. Right. So that's how you do it.
self-explanatory. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. So Magnus is white.
Okay.
So he goes for English.
So that's going to be English when you start by C4.
Right, when you start with C4, right? Yeah.
Mm.
All right, and so it kind of looks like a reverse Sicilian.
Mm.
You see C4 and E5, right? As opposed to Sicilian would be when E4 and then black responds with C5.
I see. Yeah.
It's kind of like the reverse Sicilian. So yeah, there. So nice. So going for control the center, right? He's going for control the center, right? Now you go G3, wanting to fianchetto the bishop, control the center more, right? So now he puts pressure on the knight. So now with this move, E4, he's stating that he really wants to clamp down on the D5 square, right? He doesn't want to allow activity there. So this game will center around this D5 square, where black is going to try to push, but white's going to do as much as he can to prevent that push. So we're going to see, how that goes out. So castle, and by pushing e4, he's actually creating a kind of a hole in his position. But he's saying that white is saying, okay, it's okay if I create this as long as I control the d5 square. So that's what's going on. So knight there. So now he's preparing to respond take here with take back, right? And maintain control over the center, right?
Okay.
So now you see black is trying to get in this pawn break, right? So now, of course, white prevents it, right? Now he's putting more control. So you see they're battling over the d5 square. So now black is kind of saying, all right, so I can't push here. So now let me try to push on the wings, right? So he's going to try to push b5, right? So knight goes b5. So he wants to basically undermine this pawn, and then let's say if white takes, that would be a bad move by white, because now if you take here, not only are you allowing this open file, but now you're also allowing him to break here. Do the d5 break. Now he can do it, no problem. So white cannot get rid of his c pawn. So instead, he breaks out in the center himself. So it looks like he's just sacrificing this pawn,
Mm.
but not really, you know. So because I mean he could, let's say he could take, and then maybe black takes here, and that's kind of a nice position. So now what does what does black do here? Um, you know, well. Let me ask you, if he goes there, that's a horrible mistake. What do you think?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going to turn off this computer there. There you go. All right, now what do you think is the correct response if black goes knight h5, which is a big mistake?
Mm. Well, now the knight is kind of trapped.
Yeah, exactly. So what should white
They
do?
just have to push him. Let's say maybe by uh, moving the G3 pawn.
Yes. Yeah, so bring it up here. Knight is trapped, right? Nowhere to go. So
Right.
knight cannot go there.
Yeah.
Let's say the knight goes there.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have that's kind of a nice strong center, right?
Mhm.
And it looks like you're kind of weakening this diagonal. You know, maybe black can come here, but it seems like white just holds there and he's okay. You see that? And now he's also hitting the undefended knight.
Mm.
So yeah, this is a nice, you know, you got double pawns here. Although white has double pawns, but these pawns definitely seem like they're stronger than black's, right? So that's one reason why he didn't allow that. So he pushed d6, right? So now he goes. Now he's asking the question of the bishop. What do you want to do? Do you want to trade? Do you want to move back? He's forcing him to make a decision. So now it seems like this c pawn is a sacrifice. Now let's see what happens. So he takes. So now he captures the sacrifice piece, the pawn. So now black is up a pawn, but still, if you look at this, this is this number right here is kind of the computer's evaluation of the position and what it thinks, you know, who's winning, right? So if the number is plus and it goes up, then that means white is winning. If the number is minus and it goes down, that means black's winning.
Right. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is plus 0.7. So I mean, it's not winning by a lot, but even though this is significant because even though he sacrificed a pawn, it still says plus 0.07. And that's kind of interesting because computers are known for, like, you know, if you're up in material, you know, most of the time they're gonna say, you know, that you're winning, even though positionally you might be losing, right? So even though black is up a pawn, it still says white's winning here, which is interesting, right? So all right, so he captures the c pawn, then he captures on e5. Okay, so now look at the position. He's got isolated pawn, double isolated pawns here. So these are nice. These are nice targets, right? Especially this one. It's difficult to defend. So so he goes knight a4 to target these holes in the position. Now he's going to try to bring his bishop here and support the knight like that.
Yeah.
You see, and because these pawns are like this, there's a lot of holes in his position. Right? They're all on white squares, so that means it's a dark square weakness. All right. So let's see. So now he tries to hold on to this pawn, right? Trade queens. So now he's cementing his control over the dark squares, right?
Okay.
So now he's preparing to trade the knight if it should jump on any of these, right? So now, okay, so now he supports the pawn, maybe because he wants to bring the bishop, reroute the bishop back here. You see that? The pawn, the bishop right here is not really doing anything. It's just protecting the pawn. But you don't want to have a bishop protecting your pawn. It's kind of a bad use of your bishop. So So he moves the pawn up so that he can redirect the bishop.
Mm.
You see
I
that?
see.
Yeah. So now so Fabiano moves his rook on the open file or half open file, puts pressure on the b pawn. Good move. Now Carlsen does the same thing, moves it on the half open file, puts pressure on this pawn. So now he comes down, maybe preparing to double, and now he's hitting the bishop, right? Undefended bishop.
Right.
So Carlsen defends, and actually this move serves two functions. One is to defend, and the other is to vacate the square so that the bishop can come down and and join the attack up here.
Right.
So yeah. These moves that have like multiple functions, multiple uses. If you can find moves like that, that's very useful.
Mm.
So now Fabiano notices that this knight over here is not doing much, right? So he wants to reroute it. Also, he needs to defend this again because right now Carlsen is ready to attack it two times and he's only defending it once. So he's like, I gotta defend this again, right? So he's preparing to come back knight e8 and then knight d6, right? So knight e8, he comes here, attacks the pawn. Now he's defending, so defending twice, right, and attacking twice. So everything's still good. So now Carlsen notices this knight is undefended, right? So he puts pressure on the knight. So now he moves the knight to b5, which is a really nice square. The knight is doing nice functions of hitting a lot of squares. So. Yeah. Pretty nice. All right. So now that's a nice move. This is taking into account the fact that this knight is pinned to the rook.
Right.
So So he's hitting this rook, he's hitting this knight, and he's also hitting the bishop.
Right. So
that's a pretty nice move. I mean, the knight was defending the pawn, but he thought this was an even better square. So now he takes the bishop. Right, the bishop was defending the pawn, right? Takes the bishop, and now here's an interesting position. I'm going to give you a little test. See if you can figure this out. So so Carlsen played bishop takes c4, right? But now notice this knight is pinned to the rook, right? He can't move this knight. So what if white does this move? So now you see what this does. He can't move the knight because then you're going to lose the rook, and if you move the rook,
you will lose the knight as well.
You lose the knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's a good one. Yeah.
So what does white do, or black do? What do you think?
Shit, that's very annoying.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. I don't see it. Cannot put anything in front of it, of a bishop. There's not much you can do. Unless...
there's one move that saves black here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can put the knight in front in d4.
D4, right? Knight d4. So now, why does that save? Let's say he takes the rook. Now, what does black do?
Now he can take back in g3.
You mean f3? This one?
Yeah.
Good. Check, and then.
And then take the rook.
Nope, not this. No, not this one.
Huh?
Nope, not the rook. This is a better move. What do you think? Much better move.
Oh, checkmate.
Yes, checkmate right here.
Yeah, it's all beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So knight d4 threatens checkmate in 2 moves.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Right?
Ooch.
So let's say instead of taking the rook, let's say he takes the knight. So now what does
Hmm.
black do?
Well, you take back, right? Because that would be stupid to leave.
Take back.
Yeah.
Bishop takes.
But
And now look at this position. So white or black is down a bishop, right?
right, yeah.
But in exchange he has two extra pawns for a bishop. But the difference is these pawns are connected and they're passed. So
Uh-huh.
this should be winning for black.
Uh-huh.
Even though black is down even though black is down a whole bishop, but he has two pawns for the bishop, and they're connected and they're passed.
Mm.
So this should be winning. See, look, you see the number
Yeah.
-2. So almost three pawns. Black is
Mm.
winning, and black is winning by almost three pawns in terms of
Uh-huh.
evaluation.
Right.
So this is a winning position for black. So as a result of all that, Magnus decided to take the pawn and not go here.
Wow.
Remember, this is just a 25-minute game, right?
Shit. Wow.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So he takes the
To think deep.
yeah, big time. So, all right. So now he goes here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Knight d4 takes.
Take. Retake.
So now, right?
Take with a check. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. How do you take back? Right. I mean, you could take here. Okay. Here's actually another interesting trick. Let me show you this. Let's say you go here. And now, okay, hold on. Okay, here, sorry. Okay, so let's say he went here, and then let's say, hold on. How does it go? Wait, how does it go? There was a trick here. Oh no, hold on. If black took here and here. Okay, so now if white goes here. Okay, so now look, here's the trick. Here's the trick. So now look, white doubled up, right?
Right.
He's ready to take this knight.
Right.
But there's a way that black can save this position, save his knight. What do you think? And it's not a king move here.
It's not a king move.
No.
Huh. Oh. Huh. It's not a king move, really. So it's kind of counter attack. uh, maybe moving the knights again.
Where?
To f5.
Oh, you mean here?
Right.
Yeah. So the theme is basically the same as the last question I asked you. Right. So if he takes here, what do you do?
Well, I continue to. I take in f3.
Yeah.
With the knight.
So same thing. If here, checkmate. Right.
Yeah.
Or
right.
if he goes king f1, then what do you do?
do check again by taking in h2.
Yeah, check. So now he goes back. Now what do you do?
Check again.
Yeah. So basically, so look at the position. You're down. Black is down a rook, right?
Yeah.
He's down a whole rook, so he wants to draw. So this is draw. He's forcing the draw by perpetual check.
Oh, okay.
You see, there's no way that white can get out of this perpetual check, right?
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
that's the idea. It's either checkmate or it's draw by perpetual.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice trick, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so seeing that, so seeing that, he prevents. So in order to do that, look, in order for Caruana to do that, he has to move his king off of the back rank, because that only works if he can move, and then when white takes the rook, it's not check.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it's checked, then it doesn't work.
Mm.
You see? So that's why in this position, Carlsen chose to capture the pawn first, keep the king on the back rank. Now Carlsen, Fabiano is forced to keep the king here. Now he takes. So this doesn't work. This doesn't work now because this is with check.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
He check, and then what? Then he move his king.
Yes, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Let's see here.
Still not easy.
Right here it says protect here. I mean, it would be. I guess it would be. It would be back to even, but actually in this position, no. White is up a pawn. So So it says. Computer says here. But yeah, so white escapes basically. He escapes this possible trap, right? So that's why he chose to take this pawn first.
Okay.
Keep king f8 and then take the pawn. And now he elects to trade down everything. So now we enter a rook and pawn endgame where white is up a pawn. Right, he's winning by one pawn. And just think about this: when you're playing, two super grandmasters and one is up a pawn, how difficult do you think it is to win the game? Just up one pawn.
It must be very difficult because the guys are very strong each other.
Oh yeah, very strong. So, all right, so check. He delivers a check. He moves closer to center, and now white gets his pawns moving. Right, he wants to get the pawn chain going. And he would like to push this one so that the rook can come on this square, right? And now deliver a check, right? So black pushes forward. He wants to get his passed pawn moving. So now Carlsen comes, immediately attacks the pawn, right? Defends the pawn. All right, defends the pawn. So now the king, white's king is confined to the back rank, right? So white would like to move this way, but this loses this pawn.
Yeah.
So white doesn't want to give up that pawn, therefore he pushes h4.
Okay.
Right, and then he begins to try to enter the game that way. So now he pushes the pawn. Well, first he delivers a check, get the king away. Now the king is further away from the center. Right? Now you put pressure on the pawn. Now he does h5, preventing g4, because this would be a nice move, g4 and then g5, right? Pushing the king back even further.
Yeah.
Right? So he prevents that. Now he begins to try to kick away the rook. So now he's trying to win a pawn, right? So now white says, okay, I'm going to protect this one. You can have this one, and I'll take that.
Right.
So exchanges. So now black achieves a nice central location for his king. Very very good area to be in. So now what does white do? He he wants to maybe get rid of this pawn, right? So that's why he moves up rook c7.
Okay.
So now black takes. So here, here's an interesting. All right, here's an interesting. Let's see. How does it go here? So if white takes the rook now.
Mm.
Let's see.
Yeah, the other pawn is dead.
Yeah, if white takes. Yeah, so this is kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky for white, right? Because the black king is very strong, very active, right? Look at the white king, not so active, right? So
Yeah.
if white captures the pawn now black can first deliver a check,
Mm.
and then this king is becoming very very confined. If he comes down here, maybe he can come here, and now white has to be careful. If he pushes here, now black has kind of perpetual check here, check, right, and white can't get out of it.
Yeah.
You see that? So white, Magnus is up. White is up a pawn. He doesn't want to draw. He wants to win, right?
Yeah.
So as a result of that, he doesn't want to allow this king to be too active, right? So therefore, he delivers a check first, right? Pushes the king back, and he sees, okay, you can take this pawn too, but now I'm going to take this pawn.
Uh-huh.
With the idea that I'm gonna get the h pawn too.
Okay, yeah.
You see, so he forks king and pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Rook g5. So this pawn cannot be defended at all, so it's gonna fall. So now now black's like, all right, let me push my pawn, try to get a queen, take. So now in in these kind of endgames, you always want to put your rook behind the passed pawn like that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it under control. So now so now this is interesting. Look at this. One pawn versus two pawns on opposite sides.
Right, and the black pawn is very close.
So this requires a lot of interesting technique right now. It's very important to know how to do these kind of positions because, if this position were to come up in your game, it's important to know. So so he delivers a check first, right? So yeah, so the computer is saying move here.
Right, that makes sense. To get to be centered.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know because this does allow here and then push here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
So that's why Caruana decided to keep the king back for protection. Protection of the queening squares.
Right.
So now you would think that white would want to go forward with the king, but now here's the problem. Black goes here, and now what does white do?
Yeah.
What
because very tense.
Yeah, what does white do here? I mean because if you move up here, now you have this move. This is now a good move. It's striking at this unprotected pawn, and you're getting ready to queen.
Mm.
You see that? And so if white takes this, and black and black exchanges with this, now this is a draw. Because if the pawn is on the rook file like this is automatically a draw. All black has to do is exchange the two rooks, and it's a draw, automatic. So white does not want to allow that. Therefore, instead of that, he goes king g2. Right now he gives a check. He hides behind the pawn. Moves up. Alright, so now he goes king h7, moves up again. So now this is interesting now. So now the pawn is ready to queen. Now look, he's ready to give this check and then queen, but he escapes just in time. You see that?
Yeah.
In one he was just in time with one move. So now check. So now black realizes my rook is not doing anything here, and I gotta help my king. with these pawns. So now he abandons the pawn here.
Yeah.
And before taking it, white gives a check. Black moves back, and then he takes the pawn. And now black gives some checks there, and now this is where where black resigned, because there's no way to stop these pawns. If you give another check, then white advances, protecting the king, and if you move, it's just, yeah. I mean, if you move here, try to give checks here, then you can come. Well, it says come there. I could even go there. Let's see. Check. King moves up here. All right, we're gonna take this off. All right, king moves up here. Now, what do you do next to win the game? What do you think?
Check with the pawn.
Right, check with the pawn. Keep moving forward. Right. Let's say he moves here. Now, what do you do now?
Now I move the H pawn up.
Well, if you do the H pawn, now black can do a lot of annoying checks.
Oh, yeah, right.
And now this is here. Yeah, a lot of annoying checks here. So all right. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe give a check this way. So now, let's say he goes back, tries to attack the rook. Now you check again, right?
Right.
Now you can go here. Yeah. You see, the king is cut out. It's further away from the pawns.
Right. So now the other one can give a check.
Right. So he gives a check.
Yeah.
So now what does he do? What does black do? What do you think? If he checks again, then the king can come here, and then the pawn queens.
Yeah.
You see? Or I mean, maybe he just waits. Let's say he waits. Now you bring the rook all the way back here, and now you're preparing to move the pawn up, and that's gonna one of the pawns will queen no matter what. So if you wait again, then you can just do that, and there's no stopping the pawns at all. You take here, this pawn will queen. You see that? If he goes here, check. You can even go here. The pawn's protected, and one of them will queen. Right?
Yeah.
You see?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
There's no way, right?
Yeah.
So you see how technical these rook and pawn endgames can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, very technical. So all right, so let's do the second game.
Caruana just gave up.
Yeah, so he gave up. Yeah, right here. Oh wait, where was it? So he gave up. Yeah, actually, after King H5, after this move, he just gives up.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen he's like considered to be one of the best endgame players in the world. Like look at this evaluation. You know what that means? That means there's
checkmate in 25 moves.
There's forced checkmate in 25 moves.
Yeah.
So yeah. And this is actually 39 moves. So yeah, kind of interesting. Cool. All right, so let's do the second one. All right, so this is with Caruana's white. E4, C5. So here's the Sicilian. Okay, typical opening. All right, center control. All right, so now this is a specific type of Sicilian. I think it's called the Scheveningen variation. I think. Oh, all right. Actually, right here it says it. Lasker Pelican variation. I didn't even know that one. All right, so he strikes out E4. Now, this is an interesting move because it seems like it creates a hole here, right? But black really wants to fight for control of the D4 square. So white goes knight DB5, and now he's kind of threatening to go knight here, and this pawn will be held back. So as a result,
but there's a bishop.
Right. Right. So
Oh yeah, but right, the
take
queen is there.
and then take. Yeah. And now, I mean, that queen is a really nice position. You know.
Yeah.
So let's say black does, I don't know. Let's say he does this move. So you go check. And now maybe you want to do that. But it's still, I mean, it's still a pretty nice position for white, right? So, all right. So, and also the possibility of exchanging the bishop for your knight is always preferable, right? If you can take your opponent's bishop, you know, you always want to do that. So black did not want to allow that, so therefore he pushes d6, right? So now white goes knight d5. Now why do you think he did that move? What do you think? What is he threatening?
Oh wow, yeah, he's threatening a fork in
right, double attack
D.
on c7,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Not good.
not good at all. Yeah. So so the only way to really deal with that is to eliminate one of the knights, right? Take. Okay. Now this pawn is a nice position. Bishop knight comes back. Okay, so reinforce the pawn now. Reposition the knight. All right. So now what is that threatening?
Oh, discovered attack.
Yeah. Where? What move?
So what would be the good? Oh, if the knight takes in d3 on d6,
d6.
then you have a double check.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Right.
Because the king has to move.
Yeah. There's actually a better move than take on d6 though.
Ah yeah. Let's see. Text on c2.
Right here.
Is that better? Huh?
Yeah, because now you're forking king and rook.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. So so discover double check, and then also forking king and rook.
Yeah, not good. Yeah.
Nasty, right?
Nasty.
So as a result of that, black blocks that threat. Yeah. So now what was black threatening now?
Wait a minute, block that fight.
Yeah. So black bishop d7 to block the discovered check, right?
So that means the knight can be taken.
Right.
There's no double check anymore.
Yeah, no double check. But now, with bishop d7, what is black threatening now?
Eventually to take the queen.
Okay, but there's a specific move though that the knight is pinned, right, to the queen.
Well, he's pinned.
Right.
There will be a check, but I think the queen can escape.
Yeah, the queen can escape.
The knight will be dead.
Right. But right now, the black is threatening.
Oh yeah, also that, right?
Because the knight is pinned, right?
Right. Yeah.
So as a result of that, white moves queen b4.
Right.
So now focusing his attack on d6.
Right.
See that? So now black defends d6 twice. Yeah. Okay, so now white strikes out on the side, maybe attempting to kick the knight. So black blocks the h pawn. Okay, so now we're developing, maybe wanting to bring the rook here, maybe push the pawn, something like that. So now he decides to kick the knight away. Gotta move back. All right, now the queen gets kicked. Now this is funny. Now where does the queen move? I mean, this looks like a good square, but the problem is what? What can black do if white does queen b6?
Oh yeah, he can bring his rook in A6.
Yeah. So you kick the queen back again. Now the queen
Yeah.
goes all the way back, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of just helping black to improve the position of his pieces, right?
Yeah.
So instead of queen b6, then he goes immediately queen b3, and now black kicks him back further. I love this. So this a pawn first kicked the knight, and then he moved here, kicked the queen, and I moves again and kicks the queen again.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So now look at this. The queen goes all the way back to her original position.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It must feel good to do that kind of move with one pawn to a super grandmaster rated 2800, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're just kicking his queen around. So the queen comes back. So now look at it. The queen here, he's putting pressure on the pawn. So now it's kind of difficult for black to castle because then this pawn will be lost.
Yeah.
Right? So now black develops the bishop, puts pressure on the h4 pawn. So white protects. Queen c8. Now putting pressure on c4 and also preparing, putting control over the g4 square. So now he's threatening to take, right? So what's the best way to protect this pawn? What do you think?
That's pretty difficult. You see. Let me see. Well, maybe move the knight. Yeah, move the knight in f4, but it's not great.
No, you just lose the knight, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. On top of that, yeah. How to protect that goddamn pawn?
There's only one way you can protect the pawn.
Okay, but I don't see that way because if I put the bishop there, it will be taken back. Well, no, yeah, okay. Could put the bishop in the white bishop in g4.
Yep, that's the only way. Bishop g4. That's what he did. Bishop g4. So now this bishop is also, remember, protecting the c pawn, right?
Right,
so now basically the bishop is pinned to the queen. So as a result of that, Caruana puts a rook on the c file to protect the pawn a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So now takes the bishop, queen takes.
Okay.
Now this queen has a nice location right here, very powerful position, has a lot of influence, right? And also protecting the pawn, right? So it does quite a bit there. So now he pushes forward. This is a nice move. So now look, this is freeing up his queen, right?
Okay.
Also, he wants to give himself a passed pawn here, right? So if let's say black takes here. What do you think would be a good move?
Check first with a queen.
Right, you can do check.
And then take.
Actually, check. It wouldn't really work though. Well, let's see.
Yeah, because you can,
block.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That doesn't work very well.
Actually, you know what? I think it still does. No, I think it still does. You're right. Because look, take, and if you take the queen, now the rook still protects, right?
Right. That's true.
So yeah, kind of. But also another way to do it is to take the bishop immediately like that. Take the pawn, okay. And now if he takes back, you go check, fork, king and bishop.
Right.
It's a little bit cleaner way to do it. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So white, so black ignored that that pawn and just castled. All right. So now white pushes again. Take. So now look at the position now. So now black has a passed pawn. It's protected. You know, he just got to push it. White has a passed pawn. It's kind of far away from this one though. So it's not really protected, but it is almost to the queening square.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of dangerous. So, all right, so now black opposes the pawn, tries to win it. So what white protects.
There's strange way. Yeah.
So now black is protecting the doesn't want the pawn to advance. Knight goes up now. So now this is an important move right now. So the knight comes up here. So as a result of that, the knight is no longer guarding e4. So black immediately notices that and pushes e4. Like that's a move that's so subtle. It's like, you know, it's hard to imagine that you would think of doing that, right? Like since the knight moves up here, he's no longer protecting e4. Therefore, now I can move e4. You know. And also what that does is it provides a square for this knight to enter the game.
Yeah.
And attack the queen, attack the pawn, also deliver a check, fork, or maybe you can even check this way. You see that? So this is a really beautiful position for the knight to be in. All right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So e4. Okay, he moves up. Again, so now he's forced to take the pawn, take with the knight. All right, so now it seems like white is winning, right? Because right now, look at the position. White has an extra bishop, right, and black only has one pawn for the bishop. But the game is over. The game is over in 2 more moves.
Okay.
White resigns in 2 more moves, and black is winning by a piece. Sorry, white is winning by a piece, but white resigns in 2 more moves. It's so weird, this game. So, all right. So takes here. So now what's?
But wait! I noticed that the computer thinks that Magnus is winning.
The computer says, yeah. So look at that. Yeah, that's even more funny. Is that black is down? Essentially, he's down 2 pawns, right? He's got a bishop for. He's got a pawn for a bishop. So essentially, he's down 2 pawns. Yet the computer says black is winning.
Yeah, it's just not obvious. Definitely not for me.
Right. So the winning move, you see, is this.
I don't see it.
Knight e5. Yeah, knight e5. Very powerful move, right? Attacks the queen, threatens a fork, and also threatens to come into this hole here. So now, what does white do? Right? What does white do? So white decides to do a counterattack. So he says, okay, you can take my queen, but I'll do a fork myself, actually, with the queen.
Oh, yeah.
So you take my queen, and I'll do a fork with your queen. All right. So simple response to that. What do you think? So right here. So what's the simple response to that move?
Let me think. If I was
if you were black.
If I was Magnus Carlsen, let's say.
if you were world champion.
Yeah, if I was world champion, what would I do? Because it seems difficult to avoid that fork unless you move your king.
Exactly. Just get out of the fork.
Yeah.
Just get out of the fork. So
I will move my king in f8.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't really matter where. I mean, Magnus moved king h7.
Okay, but Magnus is not that strong.
Right, right.
I think
So,
F8 is much better. But anyway,
so yes.
okay.
So, yeah, the beauty.
Well, but you can still have a fork, a double fork. Uh,
Right. So let's see. So let's see if he goes fork.
right.
Now it's saying you can
Ah,
attack the rook.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. See, oh my God, Black's winning by so much already right now. Look at this.
Ah, yeah.
So what do? White takes. Says Black takes.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, says takes, and you got this. So Black has a queen for a bishop and a rook,
Mm.
right? And so, yeah. So it's still winning for Black, but I guess Caruana thought that this was worthy of resignation.
So when he resigned at what move?
He resigned after that move. King h7, he resigned.
Oh, because he thought it was. Well, he saw that he was in a very inferior position already.
Yeah, so let's say, I mean, what does he do? Like, so this knight fork is really crazy. Like, if he moves, let's say he moves here,
Huh.
you got a knight fork,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's say he can't move here either, knight fork.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If he moves up here, so look, in this position, White cannot take the rook because look, it's protected by the queen is still protecting the rook. It doesn't work. You see that? So yeah, it doesn't really work. So as a result of that, so let's say he goes here, right? Queen b5. Then you take the rook, and now now the knight comes in here. Check. You can't move here. Checkmate. You see?
Yeah. And
And
if he moves the other way.
and if he moves the other way, let's say he goes here, you got this. This is a fork.
Uh-huh. Shoots. Yeah.
If he moves up here,
All right.
you got this check here.
Uh-huh.
And what does he do? If he comes to anywhere on the c file, you can check, and you win. You win this bishop.
All right.
It's just lost. Actually, that's checkmate. Yeah, that's checkmate. Look,
Oh,
if he takes
yeah,
here.
right. That's with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's checkmate. Yeah, see? It's checkmate. That's funny. That's funny.
Uh-huh.
So, and the other thing is, if white comes back here, let's say white moves back here. So now you can check here, and then this knight's gonna fall.
Mm.
Check. Where is it? He moves there. Maybe you can even take this first,
Mm.
and now you take that, or maybe you can even take this with check.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I mean, white is winning by. You can go. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Hopeful.
right. So it's amazing, these two guys. Like just 2 moves before, Caruana had a pawn on the 7th rank, and Magnus had to give up his bishop, and then Caruana resigns 2 moves later. Right?
So it's because of a beautiful position.
Yeah, mainly because of this knight. This knight really came into the game and was so powerful that there's not much that can be done.
Wow.
There, yeah. And this it's amazing with a simple king move. White resigns.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Right? So this is the second game. So maybe you want to go over the third game next time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't want to
right.
keep you too late.
Yeah, we'll do a
It's
third game next time. But cool. So you
okay.
see, so next time, you can look at these games on your through your phone too. There's the studies tab, and
Right.
you go
Okay.
into you just type you click on when it says studies I contribute to,
Yeah.
and you can view these games if you want. So
Okay.
all right,
Very good.
cool. So all right. So let me stop this.